Here's a habit that are making business owners millionaires. And you got to focus on all these different habits that actually make a difference. So the first one is you got to focus on strategic thinking. If water's falling and you had a glass at the bottom, how do you catch that water? You funnel the water into a glass. But if you're putting all this time and effort to do something and it's just falling on the floor and it's not really hitting the glass, your actions is not really resulting in results. So some of the habits that you got to focus on is one, focus on strategic thinking, because 5 minutes of planning can save you hours in execution. It's too many times I see people just getting up in the morning, they get on the phone, they get on social media. And unfortunately, it doesn't result that much because why? You're distracted. Like you imagine trying to juggle like 10 balls at the same time, right? Some people can do it, the majority can't. So that's why you always have to focus on the strategic thinking. Strategic means what are some of the things that I can do that have high leverage? This is where we talk about the 80-20 rule. For those of you that don't know what the 80-20 rule is, it's called the Pareto rule. So when I get up in the morning, one of the habits is what's the 20% thing that I can do that can shift 80% of the results for my business? I'll give an example. Instead of me having to do something myself, I can ask a question. I can call someone up and say, who's already doing this that already has that result? And if I can find that, then everything changes. Why? Because this person can get it done faster. I'll give an example. So my friend wants to come to Dubai, needs to get his wife and girlfriend a visa to come here. To go through the normal channels, it would take a while. Makes one phone call, connects with my other friend Nida, and she gets it done in 24 hours. Why? Contacts. It's not who you know, but it's who knows you. And that's why one of the things that you always have to pay attention to is building a network, not just a sales funnel, but also building a talent funnel. What is a talent funnel? A talent funnel is creating something where you have a network of people that know how to do something. And when you're able to do that, then that result comes to you faster. It's all about the consistency of how you create it as well. Too many people are doing things without the discipline. You can have a lot of action, but if the action is not directed, then it becomes wasted energy. That's why I say in that funnel, another word for it is called discipline. Don't do things because you want to do it because you feel like doing it. Do things even if you don't want to do it, that's going to get you closer to the result. Another habit is reading. I'm dyslexic, so I don't read. So you say, well, hold on, John, you just said read. So I read by listening. I read by having a lot of audiobooks. And here's a little tip for you. If you play it 3 times as fast or twice as fast or 1.5 times as fast, you can get the book done much faster. So that means you can consume a lot of content a lot quicker. So every time you think about doing something, think about the habits of strategic thinking. What is the thing that you can do that's going to get you closer? Who do you know that can get you there? But another habit that I try to deploy a lot is which areas of the world can I fly to in order to create that connection? So I just had a meeting with my good friend. He does all the big keynotes here with all the big corporate companies. This is the third time. I've known him for 10 years. And he sits down with me and said, John, I know the CEO of all the big companies that are doing development here. I know you're in real estate. So is there something we can do? And if you look at how many people are right now and how many people can help, the simple habit is figuring out what solutions can you or somebody else create for somebody else. What do I mean? A lot of you guys know that I now have a software solution that can take care of people's marketing. It's called salesfunnels.io. And what does it do? It can help you generate leads. It can help you generate sales. It can help you implement artificial intelligence. It can create AI agents. It can create chatbots. It can do all of that stuff. But the key is, one of the habits is not understanding how you can solve someone's problem. I don't know how to program. I don't know how to write a line of code, but how can I get software? Because you find somebody else who's already created the software. You find someone who's already created that, and then you just basically white label it, right? That's exactly what I did. So now I have my own software company, which I can deploy straight away. And again, this is what's making a lot of people millionaires, is that what habit can you go into to constantly have that habit of disrupting things? Here's the thing. If you don't disrupt yourself, somebody else is going to disrupt you. If you don't disrupt yourself, somebody else is going to take that business from you. If you don't disrupt yourself, there's going to be people that do other things that cause your market to shrink. And we don't want to do that. We want to have our market grow. One of the biggest habits that I deploy every single day is, if I was competing against myself, what would I do differently? How would I change things? What's one of the weak points that I have right now? And how can I make that better? And so every time you want to strive for being better, like for example, every time I do a keynote, I'll say to my manager, Nikki, hey, what did you think of that? Was the energy good? Did the audience understand what I was saying? Did you understand it? How do you think that was? And straight away, I can start finding out the things that worked and the things that did not work. Every time we are growing 1%, 2%, 3%, 5%, 10%, 100%, by the time you've compounded all this stuff together, it's always a habit of self-improvement. It's a habit of learning new things, but not just wanting to learn it for the sake of learning it, but actually it's the speed in which you deploy the knowledge that you've just learned. For example, I'll have breakfast with one of my team members and they'll say, hey, John, have you thought about doing this? Or this is a big problem right now. Can we solve that? And I'll think about, well, if I can't solve it, who can solve it? Oh, I know this person that can solve it. Great. So now this person can solve it. I contact them. I send them a message. I say, hey, this is the problem we have. This is a solution we want to provide. Can you provide it? If the answer is yes, how much is it going to cost? And then how much can we sell it out for? And what's the profit margin there? And also, is it really going to help our clients and our customers? So when you can answer these questions, guess what happens? You start to find the shortcuts to get there. Instead of you having to reinvent the wheel, guess what? You leverage that. I see a lot of the people, their habit is to not improve. Their habit is to not do things that get them to the next level. We've always got to be improving. When this concept fell in years ago was this concept of CANI. CANI means constant and never-ending improvement. If you've been to any Tony Robbins seminars, then you probably heard that as well. So it's constant and never-ending improvement. What does that mean? That means every day you got to do things that's out of your comfort zone. Every day you want to do things that are always constantly improving you. Every day you got to do something that really lifts you up. And when you understand that, everything changes. Think about where you are right now and think about what improvements you can make that you're ignoring. There's a lot of things that you can do right now, but you're still not doing. There's a lot of things that you are wanting to implement, but you're still not implementing. But the question is, why you're not implementing it? Is it because you're scared of what's going to come? Is it because you don't know the fear of the unknown? Is it because you don't know exactly how to do that yet? Here's the thing. It's not about knowing how to do everything perfectly. It's knowing the direction that, like, I don't know where I'm walking. I'm just walking in a straight line, but I know I kind of want to go that way. So I'm currently in West Beach right now, so it's quite long. So make sure that you are learning and implementing and deploying fast. That's another one of the habits. If you can get something done quick and you're able to do this in a way that is fast, then you know how to fail fast. That's the key to success. Fail fast, figure out what works, tweak it, fine tune it, redeploy. That's it. Keep it really simple. I think a lot of people overcomplicate things. When you overcomplicate things, you don't get stuff done. Why? Because you get into analysis paralysis. One of the habits is to get out of analysis paralysis. If you're watching this, you're like, John, I always want to do something, but I just never get around to doing it. Or maybe sometimes you want to do something, but you put yourself off or you make an excuse. Well, it comes down to certainty. Certainty is, do you know what you want to do? Do you know why you want to do it? Is there a reason why you're not doing it? And if it is it logical? A lot of people want to create success, but there are also a lot of people who are also scared of success. So the moment you understand it, the moment you can figure out all the things that work and what don't work, the faster you can get to your end destination. That's it. That really is it. By the way, I'm running a lot of business accelerators all around the world. If you have a business right now, you want to grow it, scale it, you want to get more leads, get more sales, automate using artificial intelligence, or you want to create a brand, then click the link below this, but I'll put a link in the description, and then you can check out, put your details, and we'll let you know when the next one is. What I'll also do is I'll create a series of videos here on YouTube to show you all the different things I've learned in the last 20 years of creating seven-figure companies. All the things that worked, all the things that did not work, so you can hopefully learn from them and you can accelerate them. And just make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on all of that. Leave any comments below if you have any questions, and also check out this video here because it'll really help you get started on that strategy.